All right, you may start whenever you're ready.
I will start in 3, 2, 1. Good evening, good afternoon, honorable judges, worthy opponents, fellow teammates, and members of law. I'm the Prime Minister of today's debate, and our side strongly agree that this House supports the inclusion of feminist narratives in advertisements of fashion and beauty products. Now, first, I'm going to start with some definition of today's motion. Our side define feminist narratives as statements that are supporting the abolishment of existing gender stereotypes. And we define advertisement as video, ads, billboards, or any form of advertisement that intend to promote their beauty products or their fashion products. And we define fashion and beauty products as any products that affect someone's appearance, such as clothing or makeup. Okay, now I'm going to start with our side's burden of proof. Our side's burden of proof is if we can prove that there's no harm to include feminist narratives and it can help spread awareness and break down gender stereotypes, then our side will take the case. Okay, first I'm going to talk about our side's counterfactual. If we have this feminist advertisement feminist narratives in advertisements of fashion and beauty products, first it will help men or women to dress how they like without being shamed, as in the past or at current status quo, people will usually have this situation where they're being shamed for what they are wearing or being shamed for what they want to wear. However, if we are living in a world without this kind of thing, people will feel pressure to confront to societal beauty standards or societal stereotypes towards fashion or beauty products towards certain gender. Why our side thinks that we should have this everyday we should have this feminist narratives in advertisements of fashion and beauty products, as advertisements are everywhere and it's really accessible to. It's not really accessible. It's accessible and it has very high exposure to everyone. No matter do you buy their products or are you even interested in their product, you will still see the advertisement no matter how. Therefore, awareness will still be spread everywhere, no matter are you a customer or are you a potential customer to this certain type of industry or market. Therefore, our sides would like to have this kind of feminist narratives and advertisement of fashion and beauty products to be allowed in advertisements. As not other than that, we can see like a few examples, real life examples that are really happening right now, which is YSL. They are one of the company that advocate for not only gender equality and also this kind of, they also include feminist narratives in their advertisements. While their products are not only limited to a certain gender, their products are mostly unisex to both genders. This is one of the examples that can prove that inclusion of feminist narratives in advertisement has no harm to the society, and it also helps spread awareness and break down gender stereotypes. However, our sides believe that this is true, as there are too limited cases for this kind of thing to happen. Therefore, our side will support this title of today's debate. Now I'm going to start layer by layer why this is important to a society to allow the inclusion of female narratives in advertisement. Let us start from the company itself. The company, as they allow this kind of feminist narratives in advertisement, what they do is they are allowed to create lots of different products that suits for different kinds of market that have people that are interested in this kind of things. Also, if you talk about for the people sides, they do not need to accept that kind of stereotypes or existing gender stereotypes towards clothing and beauty products. And people do not need to confront to societal beauty standards such as men's must wear a certain kind of clothes or female must wear a certain kind of clothes. And by doing that, men will be able to wear what they like, female will be able to wear what they like too. They will not be shamed or will not be claimed to be tomboy or certain other shaming words that are offensive towards them. So in conclusion, our side strongly support today's inclusion of feminist narratives that in advertisement of fashion and beauty products. First, it's because it would help break down gender stereotypes and help spread awareness about this kind of problems. Also, it will help people to wear what they like and also dress how they like without being shamed. And also, using this kind of advertisement as a form of spreading awareness, it would help it would help bring this to the next level, as the exposure for advertisement is one of the highest, one of the best way to spread this kind of awareness. Therefore, our side strongly agrees to today's motion. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for the wonderful speech. Now I think we can proceed with the first speaker from the opposition side, leader of opposition, whenever you're ready.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Okay. So, a very good morning to all members of the floor, especially the impartial timekeeper, worthy chairperson, well-respected adjudicator, and the government team, and the delightful audience. So, hi, I am Chung Jia-Feng. I'm the opposition leader today. And my second speaker and my deputy is Chong Chun-Yi. And finally, my whip is Chan Wen-Ming. So today, this House strongly disagree to support the inclusion of feminism narrative in advertisement of fashion and beauty products. So why we are not going to support this inclusion of feminism narrative in advertisement of fashion and beauty products? Because you have to remember, fashion and beauty products are not just only for feminism, not only for female, you have to remember. It's for men and female. And the thing is here, feminism is a word that talking about someone who is very, how to say, very shy, very shy, basically. And you have to remember, the fashion industry is not only for, only for female or male, you have to remember. Example, your favorite, whenever you go to pavilion, you see a very big sign, like a very big store. I reject. Like a very big sign like Dior. You have to remember, these type of like fashion industry, they are like not just they are like Christian Dior, Yves Saint Laurent, and Tom Ford. These are like male designer. So they also created female industry. And your favorite beauty product like Innisfree, Lancome, Cosé, and they also have like male ambassador. So there's no reason to say like why feminist narrative in advertisement or fashion and beauty products should only for female or male. And commercialization of female, including feminist narrative in advertisements for fashion and beauty products, can be seen as a form of commercialization and appropriation of the feminist movement. Companies may exploit feminist ideas solely for profit, diluting the true essence of the movement and turning it into a marketing tool. This commodification that trivialize the struggle for gender equality and undermine the authenticity of female values. And also, tokenism and superficiality also, as we find, is that often like advertisements may use feminist like narrative in superficial tokenism manner to appeal to a wider audience and appeal progressive. This leads to inauthentic representation and misinterpretation of feminism. True feminism should involve a deeper commitment to addressing gender inequalities rather than just surface level of portrayal in advertisement by itself. So just like this, I do not think that feminism is and we also And I guess for now, I will accept POI. I remember just now there's one POI.
Okay, so my POI was, so previously you mentioned that feminism means that you're a shy person. Is that what you think feminists are? They're just shy people? Is that what you think feminists are?
No. But then the reason why we say shy because the society always thinks that they are shy. So the thing is, feminism is what is more likely to be everyone wants to show the true personality of themselves, but the thing is here, not everyone can accept it. So we wanted to like not support the motion. It is because we do not think that feminism narrative is only for like as I said, for only female. It's actually for both gender by itself. So I do not think that just by this this motion is like we are not promoting this motion. And also there's a lot of like K idol also.
POI?
Yes, say.
You talk about how you don't support this motion because you think feminism only advocates for women, but in our definition, it clearly states that feminism is advocate for the abolishing of existing gender stereotype. So it means like for both men and women.
Moving on, okay, I think that's all for now. I rest my case.
All right, thank you for the wonderful speech. Now we can proceed with the second speaker from side government, Deputy Prime Minister. Whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me? Okay. A very good afternoon to honorable adjudicators, worthy opponents, my fellow teammates, and members of the floor. I am on the government side of today's motion, which is this House would support the inclusion of feminist narratives in advertisements of fashion and beauty products. So, firstly, before I begin with my points, I would like to begin with my rebuttals. First, I would like to point out that this House supports debate and this is not a policy debate. The opposition has mentioned that letting feminist messages be included in advertisements would be subject to exploitation by companies. But this is not a policy debate. This is actually already happening in real life. This is just whether we should support the inclusion of these messages in the advertisements or not. I'm not saying that we should let the exploitation by companies happen. I'm just saying that we believe that the benefits outweigh the cons, and in the end this is already happening anyway. It's just that whether we should support it or not, because this House supports debate. This is not a policy debate. So anyways, the opposition has also stated that beauty and fashion products are also enjoyed by men and not just by women. And we agree. This is why our definition of feminist narratives is to break down gender stereotypes for both men and women. Feminism can benefit both genders, not just women. And they have also stated that feminists are shy people. I think this shows a deep misunderstanding of what feminism and feminists are from the perspective of side opposition. Feminism is the fight for gender equality, the fight for women's rights. Feminists are not by any means stereotyped as shy people by society, as the opposition mistakenly believes. And they have also stated that feminist message should not be in fashion and beauty ads because men are also purchasing fashion and beauty ads. But to that I would say that this is actually a good thing, because this would spread more awareness of the feminist movement, the feminist cause to men, to spread more awareness of women's rights and gender equality to men. And they've also and that is all for my rebuttals. I would like to move on. Oh yeah, and they've also mentioned that companies will like inauthentically represent represent like feminism, and that true feminism does more than just like portraying themselves in advertisements. Well, just because portraying, like, sure, I would say that yes, if all you did was spread the message in advertisements and nothing else, then sure, you may not be a true feminist. Well, you may not be a true feminist, but a part of the fight is to spread the message. A part for the fight for gender equality is to spread the message. I don't think opposition understands how powerful advertisements are. Advertisements are literally everywhere. They are on billboards, they are on websites, they are on the form of video ads, they're on social media, they are literally plastered everywhere on walls. Everywhere you go, you will see an advertisement. And which is why advertisements are powerful in the form that they can reach many people, and spreading the message of gender equality would be so much easier, even if like the companies that put the message there are doing it just for the sake of appearing woke. It is still contributing to the feminist cause. And that is all for my rebuttals. On to my points. Now, before I begin my points, I would like to provide a trigger warning, as this speech may be considered offensive to some people. So now let me get to my points. So we would like to the reason we support the inclusion of feminist narratives in advertisements is to break down gender stereotypes regarding fashion and beauty, as I believe my first speaker has said. And what do I mean by stereotypes regarding fashion and beauty? For example, certain clothing is like automatically associated with different genders. And if, for example, a man wants to dress in a feminine way, they might get shunned by society around it. They might get shunned by people around them. They might get laughed at by society around them. And this is what gender clothing stereotypes are. Like, the notion that a certain gender must dress a certain way, and if not, it's embarrassing or humiliating to dress in a way of the other gender. And we want to break down this gender stereotype. We want to give people the right to express themselves freely without the judgment of society. Because why can't we wear the way we want to wear? And by spreading this kind of narrative in advertisements for clothing products, because ultimately fashion and beauty involves everything that alters your appearance, including your clothing. So by putting this kind of message in clothing products, we are helping to break down those gender stereotypes. And this will also encourage women to be more encourage people in general to be more confident in dressing the way they want to. And because traditionally women were not given as much freedom to express themselves in the way of clothing as much as men were, because of the historical patriarchy and all that. And because of that, even up until now, some cultures do not encourage women to dress in the ways that they want to. And by spreading these kind of messages, you will give the woman the self-confidence, the self-esteem to be able to express themselves the way they want to. And this is why I believe that we should support the feminist narratives in advertisements in fashion and beauty products. And with that, I rest my case. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the wonderful speech. Now we can move on to the second speaker from side opposition. Whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. I will be accepting POIs verbally. So I'll start in 3, 2, 1. A very good afternoon to the members of the floor, the respected chairperson, impartial timekeeper, honorable adjudicator, esteemed opposition, and dear audience. My name is Chang Chung-yi, and as the opposition deputy leader, we strongly oppose the government's idea of supporting the inclusion of feminist narratives in advertisements of fashion and beauty products. So I would first like to rebut the things that the wonderful Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister has said. one of the things he said was, if ads are so powerful, then why should companies then why shouldn't company that's why companies shouldn't have selective empowerment. So why does the government support that? By supporting selective empowerment, advertisement often promote empowerment through the lens of consumerism, that suggesting that purchasing specific products will make women feel empowered. However, true empowerment should come from promoting gender equality, access to education, and opportunities in all aspects of life, rather than through consumption and material possession. You might say that by promoting feminism, you'll promote gender equality. But how often do you see men in fashion and beauty products? There's only a tiny handful of men on advertisements in fashion and beauty products companies' ads. Does that help break down the gender stereotypes? And you said that the benefits outweighs the cons, but there's also quite a few cons for supporting feminist narratives in advertisements of fashion and beauty products, which I will talk about that later. And I would also like to agree about the points my leader has made, such as companies exploit the feminist empowerment to turn that money into profit. Because the majority of beauty and fashion products consumers are women, they try to use female or women as their advertisements. Moving on to my points, the reason the opposition team oppose the
POI.
government's, yes.
Okay, so previously so in your first speaker speech, you have mentioned that you have pointed out that men have also used fashion and beauty products, and that is why we should not put feminist messages in them. But in your current speech, you say that there are very little men representing fashion and beauty products. So which stance do you actually want to pick?
That promoting feminism doesn't actually equal to gender equality. So I will talk about this right now.
Contradict.
So moving on to my points. The first is commercialization of feminism, which is what my leader has said, which exploits the feminist empowerment to turn that into profit, which including feminist narratives in advertisements for fashion and beauty products, which can be seen as a form of commercialization and appropriation of the feminist movement. Companies may exploit feminist ideals solely for profit or diluting the true essence of feminism, of the movements and the feminism of feminism, and turning that into a marketing tool. This type of commercialization can trivialize the struggle for gender equality and undermine the authenticity of feminist values. So this also leads to beauty propaganda. According to a statistics from cosmetics and toiletries.com, an IPSOS report from March of 2022
POI?
states that, yes.
I thought we weren't supposed to use Google for the entire debate.
That is
You can be using statistics. I'm giving statistics right now. So according to cosmetics and toiletries.com, an IPSOS report from March of 2022 states that 15% of heterosexual men ages 16 to 65, 18 to 65 in the US currently use male cosmetics and makeup, which is about 1/6 of beauty product consumers are men. So why does big companies, big beauty and makeup, big beauty and fashion companies often promotes women in their advertisements? Moving on to my next point, by supporting fashion and beauty products, it would lead to selective empowerment. By that, it means that advertisements would promote feminist empowerment through the lens of consumerism, which is women, suggesting that purchasing specific products will make women feel empowered. However, true empowerment should come from promoting gender equalities, access to education, and rather than making a profit out of this, rather than making a huge margin out of this. I have a solution for the government, which is advertising should strive to represent diverse and authentic portrayals of men and women, avoiding tokenism and superficial representation. This includes showcasing women and men of different ages, body types, ethnicities, and backgrounds to challenge conventional beauty standards. That's all for me, and I rest my case. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the wonderful speech. We'll proceed with the last speaker, the whip speaker from side opposition
Hi, am I audible?
government. Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So I'll now start my speech in 3, 2, 1. A very good afternoon to the honorable educator, my very misguided opponents, and my voting teammates. And today's debate motion is that this house supports the inclusion of feminist narratives and advertisement of fashion and beauty product. And I would like to state that the opposition, they give us statistics and they claim that they weren't using Google. And I think it is unfair for the government side that they are using Google. It is cheating and it is stated in the rules. So I think judges should be taken, this action should be taken into consideration. And now I would like to proceed with my rebuttals. So my rebuttals is that their whole case, they talk about how like they define feminism as a shy person because society deems so, and I don't get their definition. And they have a lot of contradicting points too. They say beauty and fashion is for both men and women, yet they say that how they are exploiting women only because feminism apparently is only for women. They define feminism as a shy person, and yet later on they define feminism as something that will only advocate for women's rights, which I am very confused right now. Which stance are you on? In the whole entire case of the side opposition, they were contradicting their own case multiple times, and they were taking multiple stances. So I'm really asking for clarification of which stance are they taking and which side are they truly advocating for. Because in our side, we advocate for both women and men. In our side, what we are trying to say is that by promoting feminist narratives in advertisement of beauty product, they can actually help to break down gender stereotype regarding fashion beauty. And yes, they talked about how exploiting women, and also they have a lot of exploitation of feminist ideas for marketing purposes. And I would like to counter this point by saying that yes, some company they do exploit feminist ideas, but I would like to state that a lot more company they truly support feminism by not only promoting their products, but having policies or supporting women in their leader role and etc. That companies, they do not only support feminism through promoting their product, but also having internal policies that show to the world that they are truly supporting the feminist movement. And I would like to say that this also contributes to the spreading of awareness about gender equality, which is what we are trying to do in today's debate. We are trying to spread awareness about how many women or men, they have been restricted to wearing only for women they can only wear feminist clothes, and for men they can only wear masculine clothes. But in our side, in side government, what we are trying to say is that we should allow men and women both to have the rights to wear whatever they want without getting shamed. Because as of the current status quo, if you walked out the street, if a man or a woman walked out the street wearing feminine or masculine clothes, POI rejected, they would get shamed on the street because they are not dressing according to their gender. And right now, what we are trying to say is that we want to abolish that idea, and that is the main goal of today's debate. We are trying to abolish and break down the gender stereotype that has been existing for so many years. And you talk about how the commercialization is promoting through the lens of consumerism and not through education. And I would like to say that in many countries, they have been promoting so many feminist ideas and educating people about how feminism works and why feminism is a step to accepting everyone. And by that, like, a lot of people, yes, they know about feminism, but feminism is still not reached to the whole audience yet. So by advertising it, people can know about how feminism works. And you talk about how it will make women feel empowered, which is contradicting to your own case. And I do not get why did you say that, because technically that should be our point. Yes, you talk about how, like, by women buying it, they will feel empowered. Exactly. If women buy a product, they will feel a product, let's say a clothing brand that is not feminine or let's say more masculine, and they think they look good in it, and they feel empowered because right now they can finally wear masculine clothes that suit their body. And you talk about how it didn't by advertising it did not help to break down gender stereotype. And you talk about how often do you see men going into clothing store and buying clothes and something about that. And I would like to state that how can you say that it does not help with gender stereotype? Let's compare last time to our current status quo. And last time, in the POI accepted, what are you supposed to say?
Do you not see any men in fashion stores like H&M or Cotton On? The mainstream ones.
I'm rebutting your point that you say that men do not go to fashion clothing stores.
Yeah, actually do. I said 1/6 of men actually use fashion and beauty products.
And again, statistics, and that's not how POI works. After I answer your POI, you're not supposed to POI me back again. And again, statistics. How do you get a statistic? As I have POI'd you. And also just now, your team have constantly changed the definition of feminism. And when I POI'd it, I get literally no response for it. All I get is moving on. That's what they say. So I would like to know if the side opposition is contradicting their whole case. And I would like to state that in today's debate, it is so unfair that the side opposition, they're using Google, they're using statistics, which is clearly cheating. And with that, I would like to say, I'm proud to propose that this house supports the inclusion of feminist narratives and advertisements of fashion and beauty products. And thank you.
All right, thank you
Hello,
for the
can you
wonderful
hear me?
speech. Okay, so you're audible and visible. You may start whenever you're ready.
A very good morning to the chairperson, timekeeper, adjudicator, and the government team and the audience. I'm Chairman Ming, and as the opposition whip, we strongly oppose that this house support the inclusion of feminists, support the inclusion of oppose that this house support the inclusion of feminist narratives in advertisement of fashion and beauty products. And as the opposition team, our point are commercialization of feminism and trivialize the struggle for gender equality and undermine the authenticity of feminist values. Secondly, gender is often intertwined with violations of human rights. Thirdly, true empowerment should come from promoting gender equality, access to equal to education and opportunities to all aspects of life, and gender bias is often no. And I'll raise my case.
Very good afternoon to honorable educators, opponents, my fellow teammates, and members of the floor. I am the reply speaker of the government. No, I thought they already.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah,
Ken,
yeah, yeah.
before
We're already
you-
timing you, but like you can start whenever you're ready. Actually, I'm already timing you. It's not a problem. I'm okay.
No, that's the reply speaker for Gov, right?
Yeah,
answer
the
that.
reply speaker. Yeah, you're the reply speaker for Gov. That's one issue that I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Um,
op goes first.
Okay,
Op
wait,
goes
yeah.
first. But also to all speakers of the house, reminder, wait for the chair to prompt you to speak.
Yeah. But
So it's
okay.
a,
Come again.
may I ask, so
Yeah.
now it's the reply slip from the opposition, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So now I start, yeah.
You wanna start?
So
Okay.
hi, I am the PM speech today as again, I am Jafeng. And again, this house does not support the inclusion of feminist narrative in advertisement of fashion and beauty products. As I already say, commercialization of feminism, including like feminist narrative in advertisements for fashion and beauty products, are, you know, the movement is turning into a marketing tool, and we are also highly against it. And tokenism and superficiality and unrealistic beauty standards persist, and reinforcement of gender stereotypes and consumer manipulation and cultural appropriation and misrepresent and misinterpretation. So this condensing these ideas into brief advertisement might leads to misrepresentative or misinterpretation of feminism through essence, potential elevating some feminist audience that and causing diversion within the movement. So this concludes, while the intent behind incorporating and feminism narrative in fashion and beauty advertisements may be positive to some people, the commercialization and tokenism, reinforcement of stereotypes, and potential misinterpretation of feminist idea are valid concerns that should be considered. Advocating for genuine progress towards gender equality may require some more substantial action beyond marketing strategy. So yeah, I think that's all for now. I rest my case.
All right. Thank you for the wonderful speech. Now we can proceed with the last speaker for today's debate.
All right, a very good afternoon to honorable educators, worthy opponents, my fellow teammates, and members of the floor. I am the reply speaker of the government team and the final speaker of this debate, and I'm strongly for today's motion, which is the House supports the inclusion of feminist narratives in advertisements for fashion and beauty products. All right, so now I will start with a case comparison. In our case, we argued for the inclusion of feminist narratives in advertisements and for fashion and beauty products, to promote the freedom of expression, because the narratives we defined feminist narrative as the breaking down of gender stereotypes and therefore leading to the freedom of expression in your clothing, and to spread the equality of to spread the message of gender equality, because advertisements are far reaching, they are everywhere, and to break down gender stereotypes like I have mentioned before. And for their case, they have brought up the exploitation of companies, and they have also said that men also use fashion and beauty products, and this is why we should not include feminist messages, in which we have rebutted by saying that we should include feminist messages in there because men should also know about the fight for gender equality, not just women, because feminism at the end of the day is a fight for gender equality, and which includes both men and women. They've also talked about inauthentic portrayal of feminist messages, even if the intent behind the portrayal of the messages and we have said that even if the intent was for to make money or like inauthentic, it is still in the end a contribution to the feminist cause. And they've also talked about the commercialization of feminist movements and the reinforcements of stereotypes. So they have not. So I would like the government side would like to note that they have not much elaborated on what they mean by reinforcements of stereotypes. Well, we have talked about how how supporting this cause would help to break down gender stereotypes. And as for the burden of proof, we gave ourselves a burden of proof. We have to prove that by supporting this, we will help to break down gender stereotypes, help to spread gender equality, and how to spread gender equality. And we have completely proven this with elaboration and points. We have said that this will help break down gender stereotypes because it would give people the idea that they can wear whatever they want to wear. And we have also said that it will promote gender equality because advertisements are far-reaching and you can see them everywhere. And by putting a simple message in the advertisements, millions of people will get to see it. And this is why I think us from the government side would take this case today. And with that, I rest my case. Thank you.